Welcome back to the Headbangers Ball. Ricky Rackman here. Now, I don't know that much about how the industry charts and stuff like that work, but as far as street buzz goes, I can tell you honestly, I have never heard of a band getting a bigger buzz quicker than this band, and I'm not saying it seriously because they're here. I'd like to welcome Chris and Kurt of the band Nirvana.
Hi, Ricky.
So how's it going? I mean, it's got to be, first of all, love the suit.
Thanks a lot.
Be very comfortable on planes, I think.
On planes, yeah. Well, it's a ball. It's Headbanger's ball, so I thought I'd wear a gown.
Dress for the ball. There you go.
But he wouldn't wear his tux. He didn't give me a corsage either.
No.
So you hurt his feelings.
At least I asked you out. You know.
This thing has got to be like, I mean, pretty wild. I mean, everywhere you go, in all different types of the music scene, people like really seem to be getting into Nirvana right now.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it pretty overwhelming?
Everybody wants to be hip.
And so that's what it is now.
Everyone wants to be accepted.
That's right. It's like a core of personality and ego. Is like humans are social creatures. So
I can't hear.
Everything is covering your ears.
Oh, it's good to look at you. Yeah, and that's the psychological aspect of the band's popularity.
So
Maybe they like the record. I don't know.
It could be the music, maybe. I mean, I like the music. I don't know about
you
being hip.
don't understand. It's got to be a very heavy, heartfelt conversation.
Now,
Emotions.
how long have you guys been together? I mean, you had an album out before this one.
We've been together since like early '87, and our album came out in first album, Bleach, came out in July of '89.
And that was kind of just a part of an underground scene? Sort of.
Yeah, it was totally underground.
Nope. The Sub Pop label.
Which is basically a lot of bands from Seattle, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's like Fluid. They're from Denver, and L7. They were
Great
from
band.
LA. Oh yeah.
Okay, we're going to be back talking to these guys in a little bit. Also, we're going to be playing their video, Smells Like Teen Spirit, which is very quickly becoming one of the most requested videos here on MTV also. So stick around as the Headbangers Ball continues.
So, that guy's a karate expert.
Welcome back to the Headbangers Ball. Chris and Kurt from the band Nirvana are here. And you are a band that is also from Washington, but you're not from the, quote, Seattle area now, right?
No, we live on the I-5 corridor. Kurt lives in Olympia, and I live in Tacoma.
Because if you notice, it's like all these bands lately, with the Alice in Chains and the Soundgarden, you know, everybody's like, oh, the big emerging Seattle rock scene. I mean, when you guys started, were you playing clubs with those bands?
No, we were playing clubs with like Mudhoney and Tad.
Fluid.
Seen Tad.
Fluid. Yeah, and we played a show with Soundgarden in Olympia, like out in this park during the day. It was really neat.
So when you guys started, I mean, like the bands like that you mentioned before, part of the Sub Pop thing,
right.
You guys were kind of an underground, didn't start in the, let's say, quote, rock and roll clubs. You were kind of playing like for the college crowds and the underground scene first, right?
Yeah.
And then it just crossed over?
Well, that's where we got our start. Is like we were listening to Black Flag and MDC, and we always were like into punk rock and stuff, and we just kind of fell into this Seattle thing, like all the bands that I mentioned before.
Because the way they're categorizing it, they're calling it, you know, part of this grunge sound, and now they've said, you know, Nirvana is the newest band in this, you know, I hate putting labels on things, but they're saying that you're the newest of the new grunge sound.
Yeah. I'm starting to understand like what grunge is. It's like if you have heavy metal, it's like a lot of it's the same guitar sound. I think grunge has to do with the guitar sound.
It does have kind of a
Fine title.
It's
grunge.
Grunge is more organic guitars, like, you know, Mudhoney. They have their crazy sounding guitars, and Tad just totally growly, like a different sound.
Growly.
Growly, yeah.
So
like Tad, he's a big bear, and he just growls. Like, should be in a tour bus with that guy.
Now, we're about to play the video, which also happens to be the #5 Skull Crusher, which is a very good thing. And we'll play that, and then we'll talk about it a little bit later. Would you like to lead into it for us? So Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, Skull Crusher #5 also. That was Nirvana with Smells Like Teen Spirit, and Chris and Kurt of Nirvana are here with us on the Headbangers Ball, kicking it on old Jennifer. Now, tell us a little bit about the video. First of all, where do you find cheerleaders with tattoos? That's just
at
my
Anarchy
personal
High
question.
School.
At where?
Anarchy High School.
High School.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the deal with that show? I mean, was that like a live performance or?
No, it was a video shoot, and we had a bunch of fans come down, and they just went crazy. And I think they made the video, really. I mean, they were just so into it, and everybody was so cool, and it was a lot of fun to do. It was just crazy. People were jumping around, and you know.
They had a lot of patience. It was like 12 hours of listening to the song over and over and over again.
Yeah, do you like doing videos? I mean, I know that it takes a long time to do and things like that.
It's all right.
Now, is that pretty good example of what it's like seeing Nirvana live as far as the crowd goes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, people just get wild.
Do you see when you go out and play shows, the crowds are getting different? Like you said before, you started with the kind of the underground scene, and now, I mean, all the kids that are into all different types of bands are really getting into Nirvana.
Yeah, we see that we're kind of spreading out and getting more mainstream type people, but in doing that, we hope that we could turn them on to like different types of music, like maybe the underground scene, and there's more bands out there than just like these mainstream giant Harley riding rock bands. You know, that's kind of one of our missions.
Does it turn everybody on and also help, you know, all the other bands that you kind of listen to?
Because they're really good. I mean, the bands they've got something to offer musically. All the bands that I support are like really real, and they're like got their own thing going, and the bands have like good values too, like political opinions, and it's a neat thing.
We'll talk a little bit about some of those bands and other stuff when we come back. But right now we're going to be playing a band that you've heard me say good things about a lot. They're called Infectious Grooves, and their tour with Ozzy starts November 12th in Austin, Texas. And if you go to some of those shows, I just may be there because I'm going to try to go to as many of those shows as I can. It's a band I dig a real lot. This is Infectious Grooves with Punk It Up. The Headbangers Ball, Chris and Kurt of Nirvana are here with us in the studio. Now I want to talk a little bit about the new album, which is called Nevermind. Is it new? Has it been out for a while and everybody's just getting into it? Or is it pretty new?
It's been out for about a month now. Yeah.
And what do you think the reason is that everybody's just gotten into Nirvana so quickly? I mean, it's pretty wild.
Because we have our big bandwagon, and we have a bunch of Clydesdale horses, multicolored horses pulling it, and people are just jumping on, and it's kind of like a Ken Kesey acid trip type thing.
That explains
Passing Kool-Aid around, and we're like the merry pranksters.
Kind of the Jim Jones thing.
Oh, yeah, Kool-Aid, Jim Jones, right.
I got that. Now, about some of the songs, like, my favorite song on the record is Lithium, because I think it, to me, I mean, I like some of the old pop stuff, and it's got like I mean, the whole album, some of the songs sound like early, real hard punk stuff, and some stuff, I mean, almost reminds me of like a heavier Replacements in a way. And I hope you don't take that the wrong way.
No, it's fine.
I mean,
yeah.
What is the kind of stuff that you guys are listening to? I mean, every song has a real kind of different vibe to it.
Well, we listen to music. We like all kinds of stuff. Leadbelly, Bikini Kill, The Breeders, The Pixies, R.E.M., The Melvins.
Patsy
I've
Cline.
heard of 3 of those
Patsy
bands.
Cline.
Patsy Cline.
Yeah.
The Vaselines.
Public Enemy. I mean, if we think there's substance there, I mean, a band has something to offer, I mean, we'll like get into it.
Like, for instance, what's your favorite song on the record?
I don't know. It's just like I have a lot of favorite bands, you know, but I don't have a favorite song because I kind of just like the band and the record. It's hard to say, and it's, you know, I play on the record, so I couldn't really tell you.
Does the whole band contribute in the writing process?
Well, Kurt will come up with like riffs, and he does the lyrics, you know, and then we'll just like jam on it and spew something out. It's like the Play-Doh Fun Factory, and we just stuff it in, and it comes out into spaghetti or little figures or something.
And you guys are playing out on the road right now?
Yeah, we've been on the road for like a month, and we're playing. We wrap up the American leg of the tour in Seattle with Mudhoney on Halloween, and we've wrapped it up.
So look for these guys, hopefully, to come back to the States soon. And thank you very much for kicking back on the ball with us and finding us about Nirvana, which everybody, like I said, seems to be talking about right now.